Hello, welcome to another tutorial in the 24-hour, 24-day image creation marathon brought to you by Instagraphics, where I teach you to create standout images quickly and easily on your iPhone, iPad, or your computer. This marathon focuses on iPhone image creation. I'm your host, Grace Taylor Siegel, and I want to thank you for being here. We're all so busy, and I'm honored that you've taken the time to spend a few minutes with me today. I'll do my best to make it time well spent. Okay, so let's have some fun. It's video number 2, and this app that I created the image number 2 with is called ColorSplash. And let's take a look at ColorSplash right now. There it is. Oh boy, okay, we're going to bring the image in, and the image that I used was a picture of my daughter. She was in a little fashion show. She's in school learning fashion, merchandising and styling, and that kind of thing. And they do some fashion shows. And I went up there and surprised her to see her in this fashion show. Now, if you noticed, that picture came in color, but this app strips the color out. It's there, it's hiding under the surface, as you'll see. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing to do, I have learned, is go to the little paintbrush in the upper right hand corner of the app. Once you open the app, you bring the photo in, and then I would go just to the brush right there. Now, I want to mention that all of the apps I'm demonstrating are for the iPhone. Most are for the iPad also. They're available in the App Store. I'll incorporate some information for Android users at some point in the future. But for now, I'm focusing on apps and programs for Apple devices. So, also, I want to mention that I want to remind you, because of the way I'm recording these videos, you can't see my fingers. You can't see my fingers on the iPhone screen. You can only see the actions that occur as a result of my manipulating the screen with my fingers. Now, I'll be adding some call-outs to the final video, the one you're watching now. And a call-out, it's like a pointer on the screen to show you what I'm touching and what I'm referring to, and I'll also try to explain what I'm doing. But please keep in mind, it's my fingers touching the screen of the phone that's making everything that you're seeing happen. All right, so back to the show. I've found that if you make this brush small, so we'll go back in there. You can also fade it out. I like to keep it on the most intense version, which is the blue one. So you touch the blue one, and then you slide the diameter, so the size slider, you're going to slide that to the left so that you've got a fairly small paintbrush. Now, if you're painting a big, large area, by all means, make it large. You may need to experiment with this, as in many things, with this and all of the apps. So that's the first thing. Make that brush a little bit smaller. And then the second thing to do is come down to the bottom left, touch that pan and zoom button, and then squeeze your fingers out. So spread your fingers on the screen, your thumb and your forefinger, to bring that picture up a bit. You can enlarge it very large, so just her legs are showing or just certain parts. And if you're doing some really fine detail work, you'll want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't really need to do that. If you were having a print made of this, you would want to be really, really careful and go into very fine detail. My images for this purpose are fairly small. The one that you see in the gallery for this marathon it's a, I just did it with my fingers, you know, pretty quick. I did it pretty quick. I'm going to take a little more care here because I want to show you the different ways that you can do it. And I have found that using a stylus can be very helpful in this. So I'm going to show you both. Now, the next thing that you do when you're ready to color, it's just like a coloring book. So touch the center button with your finger, and now you're going to color in the part of this photograph, well, I am, that you want to pop out with color. And I just thought it would look kind of attractive and stand out to color her in and have her be on top of this black and white background. So that's what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to start out with the stylus, and you can see that works pretty well. Your goal here is to stay inside the lines, unless it is not your goal. Now you get kind of a glow effect, and you'll see when I am not able to color in the lines what happens. For example, the top part of this photo, she's in front of a purple wall, and once I start coloring her in, I'm going to do her arms with the stylus. See, there's a purple glow behind her, not so much on this side. Now what I'm doing is I'm taking the stylus and I'm coloring in the parts that I want to show up with color. Now, when you have the little boo-boos where the color is showing and you don't want it to, there's a way to fix that, and we'll get into that in a minute. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to switch over to my finger so you can kind of see exactly what, the differences might be, as much as you can tell. I don't even know if you can tell. And I'm going to color in with my finger, and those are some broad areas, much broader than legs, and you can see that worked pretty well. One thing that you can do that I've recently discovered is in the center of the upper menu bar, there's a little red head, and I'm going to touch that. And that's going to mask out everything that you've colored in. So you can see where you missed. Now you can see I missed some places. Now it may or may not show up in the final image, but I'm thinking that it's probably wise to color in everything that you think should be included in the final colored image. So that's what I'm going to do. Coloring this in, I'm using the stylus. And you'll see that, okay, yeah, this is great for the colored in part, but once I pop it off, there's some things that you couldn't really tell. Like I couldn't really see in the masked out image with the red filling in where I'd colored, that purple glow on the side. Okay, so I want to get rid of that. So I'm going to go to the bottom menu bar and I'm going to touch where it says gray. See how it lit up? And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to color that out. Now, when you make this image the size that I made it, which is about, what you would use for social media or Instagram, it's just, fairly small. That's not going to show anyway, so I'm not going to worry about that so much. And then in the final image, now I'm going to go back to the color because I want to color something else. Back to the color. I touched the center button, and I'm going to color in this wine glass. I thought that might be kind of neat, is to have that wine glass colored in. And I don't want to get the fingers. And if you wanted to check and see how you did, I did pretty good. I missed like a couple of places, but not bad. Alrighty, so that is pretty much finished. You can see how easy and quick that was. What you do next is you go, if you're satisfied, you go to the upper right-hand corner of the menu and just hit that list looking icon. You can save the image. I like to save all of my images to my camera roll so I'll have them later. I won't lose track of them. You could just share and send the image, and that's in the center there. You just touch your finger on that option, and you get all of these different places. You can send it to Dropbox, copy it to the clipboard. You can also, at the very bottom option, what that means is you would open the image in, let's say, one of your other apps that you like WordSwag perhaps. You wanted to put some words on there. But I'm just going to save the image. So I'm going to go back to the main menu and I'm going to press Save Image. Now, there's a couple of other things in that menu I want to show you real quick. So I'm going to go back into the menu. You can save the session, and if you save the session, that means you can come back later. You've got a draft that you can continue working on. I really like that, and you don't see that in very many apps. And you can also invert the gray and the color, which is really interesting. So let's say you've colored it in and you think, I wonder if this would look good the other way. We'll just touch that option, and look what it did. She's in black and white now, and the background is in color. It actually looks very, very good too. I'm not sure which I like best. So now you've got the idea of how ColorSplash works, and you can see how I used it to create this particular image number 2 for the 24-day image creation marathon. And hopefully you've learned how to get around in the app a little bit, use it for yourself to create some amazing images for your Instagram or Facebook or any social media, your blog. Now, I just want to mention there's a free PDF download with all of the app's details on my website. You just visit instagraphics.biz, and please join my Facebook group. The link to join is on the marathon page of my website. It's up at the top in the menu, or you can just go to instagraphics.biz/marathon. Actually, that's /marathon. Or sign up for my email at the top of any page of my website, and I'll send you an email with a link as well as all the other details. And I want to mention I'm going to be running a contest with every app in the marathon as the prize. I'll be announcing the details of that very soon, so please sign up somewhere. I don't want you to miss that. Now, thanks again for being here. I've loved showing you around ColorSplash. I'll see you tomorrow for image number 3 and Maldives. So long for now. Make it a great day.